Welcome back, everybody, to the Senate. We got our boy Kane and D, and we want to start off saying thank you for everyone who tuned into the last one. All those two people, I appreciate you.
Yes,
And
sir.
we would like to start off. Huge shout out to Stan Lepard. He's a Halo composer, Destiny composer. I think he did Fable 2. Uh, he did something else too. But he did Halo Reach, Destiny, and Fable 2 is what he's most popular for. So he passed away, but huge shout out. I don't think people in that business get enough credit
They
at all
don't.
when it comes to music.
They don't.
Because obviously, if you've played Halo, you can't play Halo without the soundtrack.
No,
It's
it's
just,
the game's
you can't
garbage.
imagine it.
Even though the game's amazing, the music is such a big part of it. So you can't play it without the
Like,
soundtrack.
imagine having Star Wars without the music.
Exactly.
Imagine not having George Williams music the whole time. I mean, my God. And I got horrified too because I was going past my feed and it said like legendary composer dies. I'm like,
Oh, and you
oh my,
thought,
because I just made a post on Facebook
yeah.
with George Lucas and John Williams. And I just made a post and I was like, I swear to God. But nope, it was him instead. So just right below that one.
Yeah, just
They
just
went for that
right
one.
below the
So
worst possible person. Right below that. Um,
right below. Could
I
never
hope. I
never
hope.
win in this situation, it seems.
I hope he finished the score for the next Halo already.
I don't know if he was part of it,
Oh,
but
that's sad if he wasn't.
yeah. But on to more hopeful and beautiful news. Kane,
Yes,
I don't know if
sir.
everybody knows this, but he's a Super Bowl
Woo!
champion.
Super
Take
Bowl
us with your feelings, boy. Take us with
champion.
your feelings.
All right. All right, boys. After a lifetime of being a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, right? We won the Super Bowl when I was fucking 4 years old, right? Didn't even know what football really was, so I don't even remember it. But not long after that is when I really got serious into football. So watching the Bucks be absolute garbage for 22 years now. um,
The worst winning percentage
in the
in
league,
all of
all of sports, yeah, the
no, not the
worst.
league, all of
Yeah,
sports.
all of
All of
sports,
sports.
all of the worst winning percentage in all of sports. Jesus Christ. And I have been a diehard fan. And D'Angelo can relate to this, being a Cleveland Browns fan. um, so I've been a diehard fan my whole life. And to finally see them go to the Super Bowl, and not just go to the Super Bowl, like just how they got there, bro. How they got to the Super a perfect December. And then the whole post, they were in the wild card, right? They didn't get a bye week or anything like that. They're in the wild card. They beat the Redskins at home. Then they beat the Saints at home. They beat Aaron Rodgers in his backyard. And then we get the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl that had a home team playing in it in NFL history the first time. And it was bullshit that they didn't let us fire the cannons. I just want to say that. That's fucking bullshit. But anyways, it didn't matter. So it didn't matter. Um
Yeah,
and
it
not
didn't
only
matter.
not only did they win the Super Bowl, they dominated. They crushed the Kansas City Chiefs, which was the Bucks' last loss. That was the last time they even lost a game. They went on a crazy win streak after that midseason game, and that was a close game, also 27-24. But we blew them out 9-31. Uh, First game in Mahomes' career that he didn't score a touchdown, which is insane. Even though he played amazing, Mahomes played very well. It's just the rest of his team that completely fell apart on him. Um, and it feels amazing. Uh, I don't I don't need anything else in life anymore. It's just It's just good. Life is good now.
As you can tell from our camera switches, is that Kane's room is so white and holy, knowing that he's a Super Bowl
Yes,
champion.
that's what it is. My
And
light
my
isn't
room,
even
it's
on.
so
It's
pitch
just
black and hopeless.
yeah, it's just my aura. I don't have a light on in here. It's just the aura coming off of me from winning the Super Bowl. Um, which is great for saving on
If
the
you switch to my
electricity
room,
bill.
there's only
He has like 5
you
lights
look in
on
my
and
room,
it's
there's
still
only one
dark.
dim light of hope back there.
Oh man. What did you think about the game, D'Angelo?
I was shocked, absolutely shocked. The
Yeah.
whole time I was completely shocked. As you know, one, I didn't have the Bucks making the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I had them
And
at
the
the
conference, right?
championship game, but
Yeah,
not
the
making the
conference
Super Bowl.
championship.
Yeah, the conference, but they did it. So they smacked that boy, so they did it. And I did not have them winning the Super Bowl either. I did not have them winning the Super Bowl because my homeboy, and he looked like a. Even though he did have some moments where it was like, damn, I don't know how he did that, but he did look like
Oh, for
a
sure.
below average quarterback in that game. Yeah. And if I was Tampa, if I'm Tampa now, I would never shoot those cannons again. You are undefeated when the cannons go off. So
True.
never shoot those cannons again. But it was cool. I mean, unfortunately, with COVID going on, you can't experience it, you know, in the city. But it's always exciting to see a championship city. I went to San Francisco when the Warriors won 73-9, and they're going into the playoffs. And that aura that the city gave off was unbelievable. Just everybody's wearing blue and yellow. Everyone's doing Steph Curry and Clay and Draymond, and to finally see that in your backyard. I mean, in your backyard, everybody's going nuts, and the
Yeah.
whole river has boats, and Tom Brady's throwing the championship trophy. And it's just like, wait a second, I know that river. That's my river.
Yeah, that's literally fucking
And
like
you see,
5 minutes away.
yeah, and then you see like the Tampa Convention Center. It's like, hold on, wait a second, I know exactly where that is.
I've been there.
And
I've been there.
yeah, it doesn't register like in your head that okay, Tom Brady is right there. Like he's
Yeah.
right there breathing the same air I'm breathing. It's just
Yes.
like what's going on right now.
Yep.
But huge shout out to Kane for the loyalty he has given Tampa Bay Bucks. It has paid off.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And I've actually, and another cool, I mean, doesn't really mean anything, but it's cool to think about is that I've played a football game on in Raymond James Stadium, and like to think that the Bucks finally they won a Super Bowl and they did it in Raymond James Stadium, and I played like a Pee Wee football game there. It's just cool, like because I was there, like I've been there, like I've been to Raymond James Stadium, like it's just crazy to think about, like they were
Mm,
right there. And then the videos
they were
after they
right there.
won,
Yeah.
yeah, they were right there. And all the like on social media, people posting videos of like how the streets in Tampa around Raymond James Stadium were completely blocked off. Like people were flooding the streets, like blocking traffic and everything. And that is just awesome. That is so
It's
awesome.
awesome. This is even though you have COVID and stuff like that. That's I wanted to see that so bad. Was just
Oh
people
yeah.
lose their minds because I
Yes.
mean I know how it feels with Cleveland Cavaliers where they had to shut down all of Cleveland because there's too many people on the streets. So it's nice to see that my
Yes.
best friend, supports Tampa Bay Bucks to have that feeling for the first time ever.
Ooh, it was good. It was
But
good. Yes,
back
but
to
let's continue.
on to the
Yes.
main one, on to the main topic. The reason why you clicked the video. Hopefully you clicked the video, but
All that matters is that you're watching
all that
it.
matters is we got you here. So, so I had this weird thing. We were going to talk about our remaining categories and the best video games we ever played and stuff like that, which if we have time, we'll get to that. But I had this thought like at like 4 o'clock in the morning last night. I was like, man, what the hell happened to like online gaming? And what I mean by that is, you know, sixth grade, seventh grade, you come home, you hear Black Ops 2 has double XP, you hear Modern Warfare 2 has double XP, and it's a Friday, and you just know that you're gonna soak your whole life into getting this double XP.
Yeah, when you said Black
And
Ops 2 has double XP, I almost nutted in my pants right there. That was just hearing those words.
and then when you have the mic, you plug it in, and you just know you have to be a brave soul because you can't have your mic plugged in and see it on the lobby and not be talking. There's no way you can't do it. You either have your mic unplugged or you have it plugged.
And you're talking shit.
So,
No in between. No in between.
yeah, no, there's one moments where people are talking shit to you, right? And they say like, "Hey, what's up with you?" And you see that guy's mic turn on, and you just know, oh boy, there's gonna be a situation. I'm in for a treat.
You're getting a game and a show all in one.
So what do I mean by what happened to the online universe is, in my opinion, it's a good and bad thing, in my opinion. So you can have it both ways. But I don't know, there's a part of me that misses something about it. It's something about it's just not the same anymore. Like I feel like thanks to Twitch or thanks to YouTube being more popular, thanks to all these streaming services, I feel like too many kids and too many people are trying to make it big on Twitch or YouTube,
Yeah.
or they watch these people make it big on Twitch and YouTube, which is a good thing. Shoot,
Yeah, good for them.
that's an
Yeah.
unbelievable thing. Yeah,
I wish I
that's
could
the
get
good
paid to
side of
play
it.
video games.
Yeah, that's the good side of it. The bad side of it is I just think that influence makes everybody so sweaty these days.
Yeah.
It just makes everybody so sweaty. Like what I mean by, you get off of school and you see Black Ops 2 double XP, you invite your friends and you just do running casuals. Sometimes you just run a casual on Modern Warfare 2 and be like, all right, I'll get a quick 10 piece or something and I might be garbage. Okay. And if you're garbage, you got to make sure your shit talking was up to par because that's the only way you're going to survive in the
In
Xbox
the
chat.
chat. In the chat. It's the only way. It's the only way.
So that's how you do it. You got if you don't perform in the game, then you got to trash talk your way out of there. And I feel like that aspect of it is somewhat missing now. Like everyone is so sweaty at doing things now. It's just like you can't enjoy a casual match of multiplayer because
No.
everybody's trying to be that next Twitch star. And it's like, dude, what the hell? So let me know your feelings about the whole competitive league now.
Yeah, I mean I definitely agree with the people being more sweaty for sure. I don't know when the last time you played Call of Duty was online, but I think I was playing some Modern Warfare oh god, like 4 months ago. I was playing it. I played it for like a week online. I was playing in it. And way sweaty, like like soup. And I wasn't in like any competitive lobbies. Like I was in casual lobbies playing
Yeah.
team deathmatch or kill confirmed, just stuff like that, capture the flag, like stuff like just casual game modes, like nothing I wasn't playing search and destroy or nothing. um and
Yeah.
you can't have fun if you're not really good. Like you can't be shit at the game and just be fine with it. Like you can't be like, oh haha, like my KD is like negative 5 million, but you know what, I'm having fun playing this game. No, no. I was
Yeah.
stressed out that whole week. I was so stressed, like wanting to have like that positive KD and all these casual lobbies. Like I was caring about my KD and like and doing the objective and everything, because you can't just play it casually, because then you'll like people won't shut up like in the in the lobby. um and shit talking is definitely different in the lobbies now. It's like I had my mic on,
Well,
and almost no one had mics. First off, almost no one even had their mic in. And when people did, no one was talking. And I played like, maybe I got into like 2 lobbies that week, 2 lobbies out of the many that I was in, where people were like shit talking and just shooting the shit. That was it. And like all the rest of them, it was just dead silence. You didn't hear it. One of the best things I remember is like, because I was that like quick scope fucking person, like trying to quick scope everyone in like Black Ops 2 and MW3, MW2. And the best thing, even if you weren't quick scoping, just if you got like a good piece, like a 5 piece, 10 piece, whatever, just hearing people scream like on the kill cam, like just start raging out of their fucking minds, like that was so good. Like that was what I lived for. Like I might have only gotten like 5 kills, but if it was just one 5 piece and I got like that crazy reaction out of someone, that's all I wanted. Like I was a happy person.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
care about anything else. um and I didn't get that. It's very competitive. Yeah.
So like, my thing is their new lobby system in COD. I don't know if you
It
realize.
sucks. It
I
sucks.
realized. Yeah,
It's
it
trash.
sucks, but so the way to do it is you enter a lobby, you play one game, and you automatically get kicked out of the lobby.
Yeah,
So
it's bullshit.
you can't abuse those group of people that you're already abusing. And
Yeah,
that was
that was one of the best
one of
things. Finding that lobby with
yeah, that was
all
one
the
of
shit kids.
one of the best things is when you see a lobby with like 4 master prestiges, and you're like, okay, we're in a situation now, and
And they all
you
have the
beat
same
them.
clan tag. So they all
Yeah,
got
they all got like
headsets and they're talking
red or
to each.
yellow clan
Yeah,
tags.
and they're all talking to
Yeah,
each other. They're in the same party. Like you're
yeah.
like, oh shit. Oh shit.
So you know what's about to happen, and in a way, there was a beauty to it
Oh yeah.
because you know what level you're at, and you know what level there are, and it's like, wow, okay, I need to get to that level, and eventually, for me personally, I did get to that level. I was
Yeah.
borderline sexual, but that's when you can't abuse lobbies and abuse someone's psyche. I know this sounds horrible. Whoever's listening to this, I know it sounds horrible. I know it sounds like
But
cyberbullying,
it's the
or
truth.
I want this person to freaking yeah, I want this person to start like a shotgun or something. But no, hear me out. If you could abuse somebody so many times and they don't leave, they're just asking.
They're
They're just
just
asking
asking for
for
it.
it. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And it's nothing better than when you
Finding
have
that
like 2 or
lobby.
3 matches. Yeah, 2 or 3 matches of going back and forth with the same person, and then you end up on the same team, and somehow you're still going at it, and like the other people on your team are just like, "What the hell are these dudes talking about?" Like, God damn!
It's a
I
rivalry,
feel like
bro.
there's
It's a rivalry.
yeah, yeah,
And then at the end of it,
and I
you
feel
send
like
him a friend request.
yeah,
If
you
they
said
were after all is said and done, all the shit talking, when you're about to get off, you're done playing for the night, you send him a fucking friend request.
that's what you did. You just sent him a friend request, and it became the most toxic and loving environment I've ever been in my life. And for me, it's weird because if we stay specific on Call of Duty, they had tournaments and leagues that you can do. I know Call of Duty Ghosts exploded with the tournaments and leagues
Oh yeah.
on your
Yeah,
mobile
yeah.
phone, and you had like ghost territories and stuff like that, and it was crazy. I played the crap out of it. And for some reason, that's gone. That's missing. I don't know why all the tournaments and leagues are missing in the new Call of Duties. And even the major things don't feel major anymore. Like if you went up to me in 8th grade and you said optic, I know you are somebody special. Just even just you saying the word
Green wall,
optic,
baby.
I just
Green wall.
know. Green wall, big trust, woo woo. I just know that you there's a close community that came with those things.
Yeah.
Like if one person was phase and you were optic, you were like, okay, we naturally just don't like each other no more. That's
Yeah.
just how it
Yeah.
goes.
That one thing, that one little
And
detail, and you just know.
yeah, and then like you look at a phase video now, and they're giving you a tour of their mansion or their workout program or like their 17 Bugattis, and it's like, dude, what happened to like the sniper montages? Like you guys come out with that like once a year. Like what happened
Yeah.
to that? And it's just I feel like Call of Duty, the whole like online community, just for them, Call of Duty in specific, just lost their identity in the whole process.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you keep making yearly releases over and over again. You eventually just lose yourself.
I don't even think it was the yearly releases. I think it was the shift, right? Like what you said earlier, they got rid of that old lobby system. So you can't play the same people over and over again unless you're in a party together, but then you're going to be on the same team every time and you typically know those people already. So you can't play the same in the same lobby over again, which sucks. I hate that. I didn't know that until I was playing like 4 months ago. That's when I noticed that because I didn't play it too much the first time when it like originally came out. But I think it's also like it shifted so like the loot boxes like when the whole loot box thing started and then the battle royale thing started when Fortnite came out. It's like and now actually Activision, fun fact, I learned about this yesterday. Activision is being sued right now for a pay to win. They're being accused of being a pay to win
Mm.
game, Call of Duty, because apparently there's a I forgot the name of the weapon skin, but there's a weapon skin. It's only purchasable. You can't get it in the game without using real money to get it, and it's it makes the entire gun and everything matte black, and apparently it is very difficult to see the gun. It makes the player almost invisible, fucking invisible if they're just sitting still, which is a camper paradise. Um, so they're being sued right now, and it's not looking good for them. They're also being sued for a couple other things. Activision isn't in very good shape right now. They're being sued for many different things, but yeah, they're the loot boxes, all the microtransactions, the battle royale, like Warzone. It's a completely different game, and the competitive, like you were saying, they still have competitions. Like I was I was watching Optic Scump, Optic Scumpy. He streams on Twitch. I was watching his streams like maybe like 4 months ago, like when I was playing the game again. Um, and there's still tournaments going on. They're just nowhere near as like big. Like no one like you don't see anything about them. You don't see anything in the game about it. I tried playing in the
Yeah.
competitive lobbies because I was hoping to get people that were gonna fucking talk on their headsets. I would sit in the lobby search for like 20 minutes. No one. There's just no one in there. Everyone's playing in the casual lobbies. And the thing I liked, especially about Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2 is my all-time favorite Call of Duty. Is they had the casual lobbies, which I loved, but then they also had the ranked lobbies, which I played the shit out of competitive. I played the shit out of it. That was one of my most fun times playing because I don't get me wrong, I like to get sweaty in a game. I think we all
Yeah.
can appreciate that. We definitely like to get sweaty in a game, but I don't want to always have to be sweaty. I don't want to
Yeah.
have to feel like I need to go take an hour long shower after a gaming session. I don't want to have to be that way. I want to get on and then decide what kind of mood I'm in. All right. And with the
Yeah.
new Call of Duties, there is no decision. You have to be sweaty. You have to get pissed. Like it makes you so angry. Like I was getting so mad playing that game. And I hate the whole microtransaction thing. I don't like the whole move to battle royales like so many games are doing. I don't like I like it when everything is just in the game. I understand DLCs and I used to buy Call of Duty DLC packs, like the map packs and the gun packs. I would buy those, but I'm not gonna buy a season pass, a a battle pass is what I think Call of Duty was calling it. Um,
Yeah,
like it just put it all in the game. Let me if you want to make something difficult to get, then let me grind my ass off to get it. But no matter what, I want to have the ability to get it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want
yeah,
something you have to pay for. It's just yeah, it's just all that. I feel like all
yeah.
that
My
come together has just like crushed. It's just crushed. At least Call of Duty has crushed the online playing.
I know personally those season passes, which is now the new thing in
Yep,
games, even in campaigns, they have season passes that
ridiculous.
basically a season pass you pay the $60 for the game and then you pay $10 for the pass. And then I know Call of Duty specifically. So you
And then the
pay
loot
$10
boxes.
for
Yeah,
the
you
season pass.
and then
Yeah, you
all the
pay
fucking
$10 for the
loot
pass,
boxes.
or you could pay $25 to skip like certain parts of the level and
Yeah.
get farther ahead. And my thing is that's all cool and dandy, but there's just something I don't like about you call it DLC, you call it more things, but they should have been in the game, first of all. And two, don't give me a reskin of a character that you don't even see. You don't even see the reskin of the character. So
Yep.
don't give me
It's a
like four
first
different
person
reskins in
shooter.
the season.
It's a first
Yeah.
person
Don't
shooter.
give me like four.
You see your hands.
Don't give me
That's
four character
literally it.
skins. Yeah. Don't give me like four character skins and then be like, oh, content, buy the season pass. It's like, dude, no, no, I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I played it till season 3. Whenever Price was the last Mark Price, not Mark Price, he's a basketball player. Captain Price
Yeah.
was the last season guy, and I can't lie, I didn't have fun. Like I had fun probably like a Friday night with my cousin and my dad, and we were all just shit talking as much as we can
Yeah.
and trying to play casual basically, and it's just not fun anymore.
No, it's
And
not.
when you go into a regular team deathmatch lobby or a kill confirm lobby, for me, when I get in competitive mode, I had to be dead set on winning.
Yeah.
And that's not a comfortable mode to be in for 7 hours straight.
No.
That is not a comfortable position to be in
No.
all the time. So even for other games, I know Call of Duty is the main big one, but I don't blame Fortnite that much because people do talk a lot in Fortnite, which I was surprised because I played it recently and I
I
was like,
blame
what
them
the
for the
hell?
battle royale thing. That's what I blame them
Yeah,
for.
I
Yeah.
blame it on them for that. But at the same time, they had no idea what they were doing. They just came out with a free version of
Oh,
the game and said, yeah, let's
yeah.
try this. And then it blew up. So it
Yep.
was like, okay. And then they came out with the season pass. But the thing was, it was a free game. You didn't have to pay for Fortnite.
Correct.
So
That's
the
a
season
big
pass
difference.
made sense.
Big
It was
difference. Yeah.
I not because the season pass is $10, right?
Yeah.
And you have a $60 game. Well, if you have Fortnite, which you paid $0, you could buy 6 seasons because that would have been $60, and you have 6 seasons worth of content
Yep.
instead of paying $60, paying an extra $10 for a season, and not even getting those things in the season because you have to play constantly to unlock those things in the season.
Yep.
And it's like, dude,
And then
when
every
all
time
these
the next season
games,
comes out, you
Gears of
gotta spend
War,
another $10 at the
yeah,
start
and
of
you
every
can't work on the
season.
last one because it's done.
Yep.
You can't continue to work on the last one. It's done.
Yeah.
So you have Call of Duty, you have Fortnite, you have
I want to talk
Fallout
about
76.
Fallout 70. I want to talk about Valhalla and the fact
Oh,
that
that's yeah, I get to it.
hmm hmm
That's a whole nother situation. But so you have Call of Duty, you have Fortnite, you have Gears of War at times, you have Fallout 76 that have these seasons passes. And if you play all these games, no one has the time to unlock those things in the season pass.
yeah.
And they know that. So that's why they charge you $10 because they go spend $10 and play like an hour of this. And I just got $10. So it's like, dude, what the hell, man? Like no one has the time to play all these games and go through every single season pass over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then call it content and say, oh, we're bringing life to this game.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Bull
Like
jive.
there's such a big difference between games that are free to play and then a AAA title, right? If it used to be where a game would come out, it'd be $60, sometimes cheaper than $60, a AAA title, and it had everything. Everything in the game was already in the game. And then like a couple like 6 months after launch or even and then up to like maybe a year or two after launch, they would drop DLC packs that you could buy for $10, $15, and it would add a whole other thing to the game. It would add multiple maps, or if it's a, speaking Call of Duty, or if it was a different game like Skyrim, it would add whole other sections of the map with hours and hours of extra content. Right, like, and that was it. Like there'd be the base game, you buy it, it has everything that's meant to be in the game, and then they add large sums of content for $10 to $15. And if you're a free game, then yeah, the microtransactions make perfect sense. If I'm playing a game that's free and I'm putting hours and hours into it, and then I see like a cool skin for like $5, I don't have a problem buying that skin for
Yeah.
$5 because I've been playing this game for hours, and I'm going to be playing it for many more hours, and I've spent zero money on it. I don't have a problem with that. That makes perfect sense. It is a business. They need to make money somehow. And I'd rather them do it through microtransactions than advertisements. The last thing I want to see when I'm in a game is a fucking ad for something in real life. I hate that.
Yeah.
2K, but but it's like the AAA game developers, they saw how much money some of these free to play games were making, and they were just like, well, they're doing it and they're making a shit ton of money. So you know what? On top, we're going to start selling incomplete games for full price. And then if you want the complete game, you're going to have to buy season pass after season pass, loot boxes, all these microtransactions on top of the $60 for an incomplete game. And by the time the game is complete, and if you buy everything, that $60 game turned into like a $200 game. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And yeah, it's ruined it for me, at least a lot of games.
Yeah, same thing. They release these bare bone games, and then they'll have two things that go along with it. And Ubisoft is like the masters of doing it somehow, and I don't know how they get away with it every time. But they
I
come
think
out
they're
with
being
this
sued
bare
right
bones
now.
game, and they put
They're being sued right now, I
Fireblade,
think.
and they have like two levels where it's the season pass that has content, and then it's the free updates that give you more content. And dude, I know all these things should have been in the base game.
Yep.
I just know. Now these DLC, I understand if you add more to the story, if you add more to the things
Yeah.
like that, I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
but and you mentioned Valhalla, right?
Yes.
they I didn't tell you this one, so this is gonna be news
Assassin's
to your
Creed,
ears.
the new
But
Assassin's Creed game, by the way, if you
yeah,
don't know what we're talking about.
so so they have this area of the map where you can build your village and stuff like that. and use supplies to rebuild certain houses. And if you look with your with your Raven, if you look, you can see 6 more house spots with icons. And it's like, okay, and I 100% in the game. So, for me, I'm like, what the hell are these things? Like, what the hell do I do with this?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out 2 days ago, they just came out with a free update called the River Raids, which added two of the houses onto the thing. And it's like, dude, these houses were already there. Don't tell me you added free content, dude, because these houses were
Oh
already
my
there.
fucking god,
And
dude.
it's just like,
It's a charade.
so,
It's just oh my god. That is so stupid. They're purposely not finishing the game just so
so
they can be like, "Oh, we gave you free stuff. Be happy." No. No, I won't be.
here it is. And same thing for Watch Dogs 3 or Watch Dogs Legion
Yeah.
is they promised multiplayer in December, and it is halfway through February and we still don't have multiplayer. And when is multiplayer not in the game? You know what I mean? When does the game launch
Without
without
multiplayer.
multiplayer?
All of a sudden, that's okay though. That's okay. All of a sudden, there's been again another change in the industry, and now AAA titles are getting even greedier and deciding, you know what? Not only are we not going to finish the single player game, we're not even going to include multiplayer. That's not even
Yeah.
going to
And
be a
then we'll come
thing.
out with and then what we'll do is when we announce multiplayer, we'll slap the beta album on it and call it a beta version.
Yep.
So if people say it's broke, well, it's a beta. You know what I mean? It's not the
Yeah.
official version. It's just
Yeah.
a beta version.
We
Like
finished
saying
the
that happened
game.
with
We finished the game 6
yeah,
months
the same thing
ago,
happened with
but the multiplayer's in beta.
same thing happened with Red Dead Redemption 2, where they came out with the online version. Uh, I think 2 weeks ahead of the game,
Yeah.
and they slapped the beta logo on it, and it was complete trash. Like the whole multiplayer was trash.
Yep.
And they said, "Well, it was beta. Well, tell me this, Rockstar, why is there microtransactions in the store that work perfectly fine, but your multiplayer doesn't?"
Yeah,
So
the game store worked amazing. No flaws in taking my money. And correct me if I'm wrong, to get access to that Red Dead Redemption 2 beta multiplayer, which came out before the game, you had to buy the game, right? The $60 game.
after it came out after the game, it came out after the
Oh,
game.
okay, okay. So
It came out like 2 weeks after the
I
game.
mean, why did I pay $60 for a game that's in beta? Like last time I checked, at least coming from a PC gaming background, I used to play a lot of PC games on like Steam and stuff. Um, there was a whole section for games that were in alpha or beta edition, and they were all free. So they were free
Yeah,
because we're as a consumer. This is how betas being played by people started. Was game developers were like, well, we can either sit here with our 12 software engineers and play the shit out of the game and try to find all the bugs ourselves, or which will take a long time and it takes time away from developing other things in the game because the programmers are the same people playing the game, or we can open the game up to thousands and thousands of people, let them play it for free, and they're going to find the bugs for us, and then we can just fix it. Like, we're helping you complete the game. Why am I going to pay you to play an unfinished game? I'm doing you a service. Like, I'm literally doing your job by spending my time playing this buggy game. And you're gonna charge me $60 to play to play your unfinished game? Like when did that like switch? Because that's what betas were for. They were to let people test the game so they could
yeah.
find the bugs and fix them. And then they release it and pay full price. But it's so stupid.
well, now the new thing is especially with Call of Duty, is that if you if you pre-order the game, you get to play the beta.
Yeah.
And when you when you play the beta, they don't change anything from the beta
No,
to
it's
the base game. So
they
you're
sure
paying
don't.
for a demo. You're paying for a $60 demo that was broke, and then they fix it later on with no feedback. They just go, "Okay,
It's
I guess
fixed.
everybody liked that," and they
Yeah.
release the game. Jesus
It's
Christ, dude! And again with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, let
over
me
50%. Over 50% of all of the armor pieces are not included in the game. Over 50%, D'Angelo. And I know
and
this is tough for D'Angelo
see.
just
My
because
thing
if you
is
guys
my
don't
thing.
know, he's a big Ubisoft fan, like the biggest Ubisoft fan I've ever met in my life. Which they make the Assassin's Creed games. Uh, so this is a tough
let me
subject.
just so let me just say something real quick. If you're gonna have these crazy armors and crazy like microtransactions, I would prefer if you put it in the game right there from the start. Put whatever cash logo you want to put on it, like put whatever $15 armor set. But make sure it's right there in the game, right when I launch it. Because for me personally, I like completing games 100 if I like it. And I don't know if there's this weird thing that goes on in people's heads, but why am I going to pay a $15 armor set for a game I just 100%ed? What use does it have for me in the rest of the game anymore?
Yep. Yeah,
There's
you
no
beat
use
it.
for me even buying that armor.
Yeah.
And so onto the more scummy thing is so they have these armor sets. Now you could choose if you want a weapon pack or armor pack or the whole bundle. And these armor sets look unbelievable. Now, for me, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds, but I'm not gonna lie, the armor variants were pretty trash. There's like 12 armor variants, and
Yeah.
none of them flashy, none of them are like sexy. They're just they're just
Yeah.
and they come out these microtransactions in these stores that have like Odin's armor or freaking uh, this whole lava set or this whole thunder set, this whole aqua set, and they look unbelievable. They
Yeah.
look absolutely unbelievable. And it's just like, okay, you spent the time and all this detail to make that armor set, but you gave me like wash rags in the main game.
Yep.
You gave me some like sponges and wash rags in the main game, so I could go look at that store and be like, wow, I could have a whole suit of lava,
Yep.
and then pay you $15. And not even that, the animated armor sets that have, lava running, fire running, uh, lightning bolts or something like that. Those are $20. $20. Imagine paying $20 for an armor set, bro. Are you for a game you already 100%ed and
And
pay
paid
$20
$60.
for an armor set that you
Yeah.
only yeah, $60. And if you're like me, I bought Assassin's Creed. Oh no, I didn't buy the season pass with it because I didn't trust it. But if you
Smart.
buy the season
Smart.
pass, if you buy the season pass, dude, I should be able to have that armor already.
Yep.
I spent 40 extra dollars because season pass is usually $40. So I spent $100 before the game even came out to go. I want everything in that season mine.
Yep.
And you come out with these side armors, these side weapons, these side horses, side boats, side village sets, and it's not included in the season pass. And that was the thing. That was the thing you could like the old Call of Duties. If you had the season pass, when the season came out,
You
you
got
got all
everything.
4 maps. You got the
Yep.
weapon skins. You got the zombie maps because they had the zombie maps,
Yep.
the multiplayer maps. They had the weapon skins that came with it.
And
Or
the
if
gun
you're just more of
packs
a
too for the new guns. It's because they started doing that too.
yeah, they
Yeah.
had new guns. And or if you're more casual player and you're just like, man, that marijuana gun looks pretty cool. You could buy that marijuana gun for like $1
Yeah.
and then call it a day. You
Yep.
don't have to buy the whole pack.
Yep.
You just be like, man, I just want that one armor that does that one thing, and there you go.
And it'd be like $1 or two, and that's it.
And yeah, I remember specifically that camos for guns were I think $1.99,
Yep.
and he gave you this weapon camos for everything. And it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Yep. It's crazy, dude. Because just thinking back on it again, Call of Duty. I know we're talking a lot about Call of Duty. It's just the most mainstream. I feel like an easiest game to compare things to, and it's also gone to shit more than any other game probably. um, is the entire DLC. If you didn't buy the season pass, you could buy each DLC pack for like $15. And whichever pack it was, you'd get the maps, you'd get the guns, you'd get the camos, the zombie maps, all of that. $15. And here's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a $60 game with a $40 season pass. And then they're still charging you $20 for a single armor set. Are you fucking out of your mind? Like, how greedy?
and
Like these
and
these are huge companies. They make so much money. Why do you need to do this? It's so fucked up. It is so fucked up.
and some of the armors in the game are unbelievable, or
Yep.
in the store are unbelievable
Yeah,
because
because they actually took
in
time to
the
make it.
main game, yeah, in the main game, a very important thing about Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the first time they ever did it. The first time they ever did it. So that's a big deal, right? If
Yep.
you're the first time you ever did something in your series that had 12 games, it's a pretty big deal.
Yep.
So the first time they ever did it is they had little health rations that you had to get because your health no longer regenerated.
Yep.
And if you remember back in the old Assassin's Creeds, they had health potions that you could
Yeah.
drink, or health like things you could drink, but your health eventually regenerated
Yeah.
in the end. Valhalla, you could fast travel, you could save the game, you could load the game, you could do whatever you want. Your health is not coming back. You had to collect food to eat and
Yep.
get your health back. So when you have a armor set in the
That's
store that
$20.
says it's $20, that looks unbelievable. It looks like Odin's freaking women. This is God.
Yes.
You have a whole armor set that says if you get kills, well, let's just say if you get if you get kills, it regenerates your health. Okay, that's a pretty cool thing. If you get the sword that goes with the armor set, every hit with the sword regenerates your health. If you get the bow and arrow with the set, every arrow critical hit point shot gets you health. So eventually, if you know how to use the bow and arrow, you get hit points with a sword, which isn't hard to do, and you have an armor that gives you maximum health. You're basically just a tank,
Yep.
which breaks the whole system that you created new in the game. You
Yep.
did that specifically
Yep.
so you would have to sell this armor.
Yep.
It's almost like they made this part in the game and it was like, so how can we break this in the store? Like, what can
Well,
we do to
that's
completely
exactly
eradicate this thing?
that's exactly what they did. Because, like you were saying, the armors that came in the game look like shit. So what do? They make these crazy, sexy, elaborate armors and sell them for $20 a pop. And then, oh, like you said, they added a new game mechanic. Your health doesn't regenerate. You got to eat food. That's not a problem. Like, cool. I don't mind games that make you have to eat food. Oh, but wait. We're going to sell an armor, also $20, that just completely bypasses that. Dude, this is planned from the beginning. I almost feel like game developers, they make the entire game, right? They make the whole thing, and then they just delete parts. So like, all right, we're gonna delete that and we're gonna sell it. We're gonna delete that, we're gonna sell it. All these armors, take it out. We're gonna sell it. like that's what they do, I feel like. I feel like they like those houses, like the extra houses you were talking about, they were already there. Like you could see the plots for it. It
Yeah.
was in the game, dude. They literally just they hovered over it and hit the delete button, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna pretend like we gave them something for free when we've already done all the work for it. We just gotta send a patch out that's already finished.
Yeah.
I swear, dude, that's what they do. They're like, all right, we're done. Let's start figuring out what we're gonna sell and what we're gonna keep in there and what we're gonna pretend like we're giving them for free as an add-on. And they just start
Yeah, and
deleting shit.
and the weirdest thing is, you look at these games when you buy them, and they'll say like 47 gigabytes, and you're like, okay, that'll
Yeah.
take a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then let's say you have it for about 6 months. You look at the storage at this game, and it says like 120, and it's like, okay,
What?
hold on, like how did we get here? Like, if like, okay, hear me out. Everybody who's listening, if you made it this far, I appreciate you to the limit of God. But check this out. Okay, why is Call of Duty Modern Warfare more storage than Witcher 3? I don't understand, by the God of me, why that's even a thing. That this Warzone, Fortnite, Walmart game that has like 18 seasons in 4 months has more memory storage than a game of the year, Witcher 3, that has infinite content. I just don't, it doesn't compute in my mind. Like,
Yeah.
what is in Call of Duty exactly? That's
It's
more than The Witcher 3.
honestly, like I've thought about that. And because it's crazy, like I remember like back in middle school days or even like early high school, like when a game would come out, and if it was like 50 gigabytes, it was like, holy shit, like that's a big ass game. Like, oh my
That's a big
god,
game.
dude, that's a big game. Like, how the
I
fuck?
remember I remember specifically I remember specifically uh I had the Xbox 360,
Yeah.
and I had the base one, so it didn't have a lot of memory on it.
Yeah.
I was playing Gears of War 3, stuff like that. And
Yep.
all of a sudden, I come home to my grandmother's house. My dad drags me in his room, and he says, "Look at the TV." And the TV is the trailer for Halo 4.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, Halo's coming back."
Yep.
Like, it's been like 7 years and Halo's coming back. And we wait however long, and I finally get the game. And I put it in the Xbox, and it says not enough storage to play the game. And I said,
What?
"Oh my god, this game has to be massive.
It's fucking huge.
It has to be borderline. Oh my god! I mean, what is in this game?" And to be fair, to give Halo 4 credit, it had a lot of content in that
Yeah,
game.
it did.
And I said, "Oh my god, this is beautiful." And for some reason, I don't know what happened between the switch of Modern Warfare today is like 250 gigabytes, like a whole storage system worth.
Yep.
And Witcher 3, or Witcher 3, which I understand was like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, but it's, how is that more content than Witcher 3? Like, what is inside Modern Warfare that
Yeah.
makes it so much more content than that?
It's a combination of course. Okay, so one thing, I mean, updated graphics, yes, graphics are going to take up more memory. It just does, because the game
Yeah.
engine itself is going to be much larger, much more intricate. The games nowadays are putting more realistic physics engines in them. So I mean, yeah, that's going to bloat the storage space. But Call of Duty Modern Warfare is not the most beautiful game in the world. First off, I mean, yeah, it looks good, but it's nothing insane. It's definitely nowhere near the best looking game. And it's just a multiplayer game with a small campaign with a battle royale. And yet it's 250 fucking gigabytes right now. So the only other explanation, which does happen, is that the game developers, Activision, whatever studio within Activision made it, um, they're not looking at it's the coding, it's the actual programming, the programming lines in the game are not done efficiently. It's just bloated. Like they're using 20 lines of code to put something that in reality, if they would have just spent more time on it, they could have done like 2 or like 5 lines of code. But they don't care because they're just typing away at their fucking keyboards trying to get content out, not giving a flying fuck about the storage. So I think it's just a combination of graphics being upgraded and then whether or not the game developers want to spend the time to code properly. Like that's
Yeah.
literally what it is. Like I
And
don't
one and
know
one
what else
thing
it could be.
and one thing. Well, first of all, why is Modern Warfare more storage than Red Dead Redemption 2?
See,
One of the most beautiful games I ever seen in my life.
exactly. That's actually an example of a game where they did care about the coding because it's beautiful and it's what I think it's 60 or 70 gigabytes,
Oh
maybe.
no, it's like
Is it like
110.
100? Okay,
Yeah,
110.
it's like 110 because the multiplayer eventually took it
Oh,
over.
okay. See, I played it before. I never played the multiplayer for it, but yeah, when it first came out, it was like 70 gigabytes, I think, at the most when it first came
I think
out.
it was close to 80, I think. I
Yeah,
think
it
80,
was but
85.
70 to 80, somewhere 70 to 80 gigabytes. Looks a million times better than Call of Duty. And it is a way bigger game. Way bigger. Way bigger. And it's less than half the storage space of Call of Duty, which I can't believe I'm saying that. Fucking Call of Duty. It's
And
ridiculous.
while we talk about these season passes and these microtransactions and these maps and how it used to be in our day type thing,
Yeah.
uh, we can't blame it. I know we keep saying it and we just say it as second nature, but there's some point where the game developers have no choice. They just make the game, and then they're giant corporate companies just look at them
Well,
over their shoulders and go, "Yeah, I need that out of here. I need that out of here. I need that out of here." So even though I know you get it,
yeah.
but just for the people who are listening,
Yeah.
there are so many things that get shoved down these developers' throats.
Yes.
Like I firmly believe that if Cyberpunk didn't get bought out, I mean, a CD Projekt Red didn't get bought out by Google or something like that,
Yeah, it was Google or some other big company.
they didn't get bought out. They would have spent
Embrace, actually.
20 more.
You keep going, keep going. I'm gonna look it
They
up.
would have spent they would have spent like 20 more years making this game because they would have had no pressure of this company just shoving it down their throats every time. And that's why you see these crunching numbers of, we had to get it behind this release date, we had to get behind this due date. And it's like some college exam or some college like essay that you have to write, and they're just shoving it down your throat over and over again. So even though me and Kane keep saying, the game developers, it's not exactly that we're blaming them specifically, even though some of them could be a little sus, but it's not just them. It's usually like a Bungie situation that Activision had a lot of control with the microtransactions and stuff like that. And for the game developers of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it may not even be the game developers. It just may be Ubisoft shoving it down their throats over and over again. But yeah. So
Yes, yes.
let's not get.
So they were bought by basically a group of adventure capitalists. So it's not even it's not like Google or anything, but it's literally a firm of people that are just wealthy beyond any of us can even imagine. And they each bought enough shares of CD Projekt Red to buy them out. And although I don't know what you know about adventure capitalists, but literally all they care about is turning a profit. That is it.
Mhm.
They don't even half the time they don't even know what it is that they're buying, except for the fact that it makes a lot of money. So they're buying, and this is actually happening a lot with game companies. I don't know if you've heard, but I want to say it was this past weekend. There was like 6 major game studios that were bought out, like 6 of them. Riot Box, which made Borderlands, they got bought for $1.2 billion by I want to say it's called the Embracer, which is another adventure capitalist group, which they own like 60 different game developers. Like they're just buying them up. Sony, as you know, a little while ago bought Insomnia, which made Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Insomnia, they only got 400 million, 300 million that Sony bought them for. And Riot Box, fucking Borderlands, got $1.2 billion. Bethesda, there's news about Bethesda, new news that just came out again, where the deal with Xbox and Microsoft is pretty much locked up. They're getting bought for $7.5 billion, Bethesda. And there were a lot. Aspire, they're the ones that make Knights of the Old Republic, or they don't make it. They're the ones doing the new version, and they're porting over the older versions. They got bought for like fucking 800 million, I think. Like it's crazy, and they're a very small game studio. Um, and there was like 6 or 7 of them. One company bought like almost all of them. It was just one specific company. They forked out almost $2 billion in one day on game studios. And I want to say it might have been Disney, or it was Disney or some other like major, like huge company. I think it was Disney though. They spent like $2 billion in one day on buying game studios. So these game studios, I mean, yeah, they're the ones making the game, but the people that are paying, like signing their paychecks, they have the final say. And if they want to make more money off of the game, they're going to monetize certain things that the game developers probably didn't want to, because all a game developer wants to do is make a cool game. That's all they want to do. They want to make a
Yeah.
game. And of course, they want to make money, but the old way of making games and selling them, where you just sell the whole game for $60 and then drop a few DLC packs, that made companies money. They profited off of it. They were happy with with it. And now that it's becoming more like the video game industry is, I don't know if the people watching this know, but the video game industry is bigger than Hollywood and the entire music industry
Yeah.
combined. It is the
Yeah.
biggest industry right now in entertainment, period. It makes so much more money, again, than movies and music combined, and not just by a little bit, by a fuck ton. So now all these big multi-billion dollar companies are like, holy shit, like video games make a lot of money. Let's just buy a bunch of game studios and then and then they buy them and they realize, holy shit, this is how you guys do things. You're making this much money and all you do is sell a game and then a few DLC things and that's it. And they're like, well, yeah, we make a lot of money. We're good with it. And they're like, no. Let me show you how to make a lot of money, like a lot of money. And then they got their hands on it. So I don't blame the game developers 100%. Of course, it's mainly the companies that own them, the financial groups, especially. Um, it's only the game developers' fault, because there are game studios that aren't owned by anyone. Like those do exist. They are out there. They're
Yeah.
becoming more rare nowadays, but in those
And even
cases,
even
of course, it's their fault. But
even those are usually called indie games now. If you guys don't know, those are usually the indie games with the smaller people making, their own type of game. And if you can find a hidden gem inside there, it's like one of the greatest things you ever experienced.
oh yeah, because it's like
Like
a $10-15 game and it's amazing.
yeah. And like a beautiful example. I don't know if you played it or seen it, but Hellblade, where it was
Yeah.
like the
Yep.
Viking chick that had like some mental issues,
Yeah. No.
and
Yeah.
that was like a $20 game. It had just this hidden company made that it was like no big deal. It didn't have no like super release trailers. It didn't have anything, and it was one of the most beautiful
Yeah.
stories I've ever seen, boy. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I feel like if these people if these big companies just calm down just for a second. I know money screams. Money
Yep.
talks and cash screams. I get it. But if you could just take a step back, do what Sony did with Samia, they're like, yo, make a Spider-Man game and chillax with it. You know, they
Yeah.
did God of War. They said, yo, make a God of War game, Santa Fe, make it, and take like 8 years to make it.
And it
Or Red Dead Redemption 2.
slaps.
Yeah, to make Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, make it, take 10 years to make it.
Yeah.
And it's one of the greatest games.
Yep.
Or just take the time to make something. Even Cyberpunk has the roots of becoming a great game, and you can tell they were
Yeah.
just like, "Nah, release it now."
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what do you mean release it now?
Yeah. It's
So
yeah, and that's one of the reasons I think we were mainly talking about Call of Duty also is Activision is not owned by anyone. Activision is one of those massive companies that own other game developers,
like
and they're
EA,
yeah, and they're a game developer themselves as well. But no one owns them. They're actually they merged a couple years ago with Blizzard, which Blizzard, for those of you that don't know, is really just PC games. Like World of Warcraft is their biggest thing. Also Diablo, the Diablo series is them. Overwatch, another really big game. Um, so they're way more popular on PC though. They're probably arguably the most popular PC game developer. So them and Activision merged together a couple of years ago. Um, and EA, Electronic Arts, um, and 2K. They I don't believe anyone owns them either. They're again their own company. um, and these are the biggest offenders are these people. Like no one, they don't have anyone to blame. They're not CD Project Red. They can't be like, like pointing up like, look at the fucking assholes above us. All right, like yeah, we know we're the ones that types the code and everything, but like we didn't want to come out with this. This wasn't what we wanted to do. When they told us we were releasing in April, we laughed and thought it was a joke. Like that was literally
yeah,
something that came out. One of the game developers actually came out and said that. Like when they told us April, we literally thought it was a joke. They actually thought it was a legitimate joke and just laughed about it. And then, they found out that it wasn't a joke. And then, it got pushed back to December when it did actually release. And again, it was a shit show. Um, so not 100% CD Projekt's fault, but Call of Duty is 100% Activision's fault. Madden
yeah,
is
yeah. That's one.
100% EA's fault. Like it's the way.
I do,
Yeah.
I do find it funny that these multi-million dollar, billion-dollar investors and all these capitalist people and stuff like that invest so much in these games, and video games are now number one in entertainment,
Yep.
outdoing music and movies in Hollywood. And I don't know, it's completely off topic, but it's funny all these people are investing money into it, playing it, doing things like that, which is beautiful because it's about time someone put some respect on video games.
Yep. It's
But
about time. It's about time. I
but
agree.
you realize all these shootings, all these violent crimes, video games never to blame now. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works now. You
Yep.
you put your own stock into that game, and now you're just like, well, that can't be the reason why these school shootings are happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little Timmy plays Fortnite. I mean, I let him play Fortnite, so that can't be what's going on.
Yeah.
It has to be something else. It's
Yeah.
funny how the narrative changed since video games became that moneymaker.
Oh yeah, of course. And I think the funny thing is that video games have been beating music and movies for a long time now.
Yeah.
For a long time. And people did, and like these big, you know, capitalist, financial firms, I think is the proper name for it. Financial firms, they didn't catch on to it. No one did really, except for people that were actually, playing games, which was almost like taboo to be like spending your life playing video games.
Yeah.
um
That wasn't
and
too long ago. That
yeah,
was like freaking
it
4
wasn't.
years ago.
Yeah, but now since they've all caught wind of just like holy fuck, like how much money it makes, everything's completely changed. And that's around the time we saw this whole shift into shit multiplayer and fucking microtransactions and all of that.
And no more couch games where you could just put a controller in and
Ugh,
have like a split screen or going something like that. There's no more of that. There's no
D'Angelo,
more
when I played Halo 5, I think it was, for the first time.
Guardians. Yeah.
Yes, Guardians. When I played Halo Guardians for the first time, see, the first video game I ever played was the first Halo on original Xbox. And I played it with my stepdad. He's the one that got me super into games. And I just recently moved to West Palm, which I'm living with my mom and stepdad again. I got an Xbox. I had Halo Guardians. I was like, shit, let's play some Halo Guardians. And he was like, fuck yeah, let's play some Halo Guardians. And I plug it in, get everything set up, and we spent like half an hour on the menu trying to figure out how to set up split screen. And I'm like, finally, I get pissed off. I'm like, I'm just gonna Google it. Like, we must be idiots or something. We can't figure it out. And there is no split screen in Halo Guardians. The one game that was like the almost 100% go-to couch game to play with other people, to play through campaigns and stuff, no longer had split screen. And I was just, my mind was so fucked. It was so like that destroyed me. And then I was reading old articles about how Bungie was like, oh, like we're gonna add it, we're gonna add it, we're gonna add it, we're gonna add it, and they're like, we're not doing it. It's just like we're not doing it. Um, I was so mad. Like fucking Halo, dude. That's like it's Halo. Like you have to play Halo split screen. Like what do you
Hey, yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
At the time, or currently, it's 343 Industries because Bungie was gone already.
Oh yeah,
So,
343 Industries. Yes.
oh boy, and then part of me, man. I'll make my last point on this. There's just a change that obviously it's for the best because a lot more money, a lot more people are playing games now. You got streams, you got podcasts about games, you got us, you got freaking Twitch. I mean, you got so many things now about video games that pretty much anybody could relate. You got mobile phones, PCs, you got everything. And, if you're like shit, if you're like Minecraft, you could play on your phone with somebody on a
Play
PC,
anywhere. Yeah.
with somebody on the Xbox.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, this is pretty dope.
Yeah.
And all that's great, but then there's the behind the scenes stuff where it's just like, oh, these people are enjoying things. Let's find a way to put a dollar sign in front of it, and
Yep.
there we go. This is call it a day. And okay, that was a pretty good game. Let me remove 25% of it. Call it free updates. Put a season pass, and call it a day. And it's like, dude. Even though I love the state of video games right now, but you do have to be careful. This is my advice to everybody listening. If you made it this far, appreciate you.
Be careful.
But my advice, my
Keep
advice
your
for
wits.
everyone, yeah, this don't pay too much into the trailers. Don't pay too much into the pre-order bonuses. Don't pay too much to the season pass. Like here's my other thing I don't like about it. When you before the game even comes out, Ubisoft is specifically Ubisoft have these trailers of what's going to come out in the season pass.
Yep.
And it's just like, wait a second, how do you already know it's about to come out in season pass when the game hasn't even come out yet? Like, why are you trying to sell me the season pass? I haven't even
Bullshit.
played the game
It's
yet.
bullshit, dude.
So just everybody listening, please be careful on your pre-orders. Please be careful on buying, seasons that just think, do I really need to pay $10 for the season if I'm only play like a weekend of it? Just rethink some things. Do you know what I mean? So there's my last tidbit.
Yes.
Just be careful in the marketplace.
Yes. So I guess I'll say my last bit on it, and then we'll get to the categories because we got some time. I think we're an hour 15, and so we got some time to talk categories. My last bit is definitely to emphasize what D'Angelo just said. Keep your wits about you. Research. I mean, you can't even really research games before they come out very
No.
well. You can't. I think Cyberpunk proves that very, very well. Proves that. Um, so I guess don't pre-order a game unless it's a very well established game to the
Yeah.
point like where you it's only going to be one thing. Like Call of Duty, everyone knows what Call of Duty is. You know what you're
Yeah.
going to get. If you want to pre-order it to get the fucking body skins that you're not going to be able to see, then go ahead and do it. um because you know what the game is, all right? Like if it's a racing simulator, like I like to play those, like you know what it's going to be. It's a fucking race car game. Like it just you can pre-order it. But especially new games or games that are only maybe one or two games in, or games that I mean where research does come in handy is like whether or not like the lead game developer like for Halo recently just like quits, or a game company is bought out and they're owned by someone else, and this is the first game they're coming out with since they were bought out by that multi-billion-dollar company. That's when research helps, but just don't pre-order games unless you absolutely know what it is. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. That pre-order bonus thing you get is pretty much worthless nowadays. I haven't seen a pre-order that was worthy of being pre-ordered in I don't know how many years, because the things they give you are
Yeah.
just absolute shit. Um,
Well, the things they give you is in the store
that too.
when the
So
game
again,
launches.
that was going to
So
be my next point. Is most likely you will be able to get the pre-order bonus even if you don't pre-order it. So if you so there you go. Don't pre-order a game. I guess that's really the thing. Don't ever pre-order a game.
yeah,
Um,
stop it.
yeah,
Just
just you know
stop.
what? I'm gonna scratch everything I just said. Just never pre-order a game. And then when a game does come out that you want to play, give it a couple days and watch gameplay of it. Like go on YouTube and fucking look up game reviews, look up gameplay, like pull up like the first episode of a walkthrough of the game and just watch the first episode. Like watch the game, figure out whether it is actually what you thought it was, and then buy it. Um, that's for sure. Some solid advice. And I think I had one other thing to say, but I forgot what it was. So, um,
You can just interrupt me at any time then. But I will like what was it? 2 videos ago? 1 video ago? We had the greatest games we ever played in certain categories. We had
yeah,
racing, shooters, stuff like that.
we didn't talk about
And
shooters.
we didn't talk about shooters.
Yeah,
And should we do separate ones like first person, third person?
yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So the remaining ones we had to do, I believe, were horror,
Or first person
f-
shooter.
first person, third person. What was the last one? I could have swore there was one more. Let's. How about this one? Couch
Yeah. All
games.
right. I like that.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
how about this? We'll start it off with couch games.
All right. Okay. I like that. That's
Cause
different.
man, I love me some couch games. They were. I'll tell you what. There's this thing on Xbox, the original Xbox,
I think I know
that
what
my
you're
dad
saying,
had.
and I was gonna say it, but wait, go ahead. I want to see if it's the same thing.
He had 2 games, and there were 2 different arcade collections that had like one of them had like Paperboy and like Pac-Man and like Dug It or like Street Fighter or something like that, and like beat 'em up games and stuff like that. And another one was this like extremely violent arcade games.
Okay, maybe that
that
wasn't okay. I was thinking of something else. All right, keep
yeah,
going.
when you say it, I'll probably be like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But uh the violent ones, one of my favorite type of shooting games ever are the ones where you shoot with the joystick and you aim and shoot with the right thumbstick.
Yep.
And I love those games with the bottom of my heart. I don't know what it is about them. They're just so fun. It's always so action packed and so violent. It's just like, oh my god. And those games are always couch co-op.
Yep.
And you had Halo. Obviously, Halo was the first love of mine.
Halo.
Where I had Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, then they stopped at 5, and then I think they're bringing it back for 6. Then they had Reach, and Reach was co-op. But let me tell you one thing. Oh my God, me and my dad played the living Christ out of Halo Reach co-op split screen. Oh my God, we played the living Christ out of
Yep.
it. And then, man, you want to talk about the couch game at the time? It was, if you play it now, it's a horrible game. I don't know why we thought it was good, but if you play this game now, please do not judge me. It was just, you just had to play it in that time it came out. But
Oh God.
Army of Two,
Yes.
Army of Two was one of the
Yes.
funnest couch co-op games
Oh my
in the
God.
universe.
Oh my
So
God. Army of Two.
it was it was this game. If you guys don't know, there was a recent game that came out like 2 years ago that it was like Jailbreak or something, where it was like this two-player story mode where one player makes one choice, the second player makes one choice, and you had to work together as a team, one player and two player. It was like that, except an army game,
Bloodbath. Just
and
an absolute bloodbath.
it was violent, boy. And they had co-op sync moments where you busted a door at the same
Yes.
time,
Or when you
or
go
they had
back to
like
back. When
when
you
you
go
go
back.
back,
Yeah.
that was
Oh.
their key signature feature in the game.
It'd go
For
slow
those who don't
motion.
know, is
It'd go all
yeah,
slow
it went
mo.
slow motion,
Oh.
and you had to go back to back, no cover, and you just had to tear some boys up back to back, and that
Oh.
was go ahead and take it off from there.
All right. All right. God damn, Army of Two. And just a side note on Army of Two, that was a game. I don't know if you've ever tried to play it by yourself, even back then when it first came out. That's not a game you can play by yourself. Even when
No,
when I
not
was
even
in
close.
love with it and it first came out, you have to play it co-op. And it was, oh my God, it was so much fun. But the first game that I'm going to say, um, that I thought you were originally talking about, it's actually in the Microsoft store from the original Xbox, is Fusion Frenzy.
Ooh.
Fusion Frenzy,
That's in the
bro.
store?
Yeah, it's in the store. I think it might even be free.
Oh.
Is Fusion Frenzy? That's in there, bro. Fusion Frenzy. It was on the original Xbox. You could have up to four people playing on your couch. Not super common, even back then, to have like a game where four people can play all in one screen. Uh, and it was an arcade game basically. Like you had the different, like you had these little miniature arcadey looking figures. Each one was a different color, and you had just a shit ton of different game modes. Like one, you'd be in like a little ball, and you'd have to like knock each. It's like a bumper cards thing. You'd have to like knock each other off the ring because you're on a ring. And there's like a moat around you, and you'd have to knock everyone off and be like the last person standing. They had one that was like a button mashing, like but timing thing where like you had to jump over like this fucking thing. You had to mash the right button at the right time. Like it was just an arcade game that you could play with four other different people. And dude, that game was so much fun. It was like a party game. Like when you had like a sleepover, just a bunch of people over, like just throw Fusion Frenzy in there, and like four of you can just sit down and talk shit and just play a simple little arcade game. It was so much fun.
Another good couch one that I just remembered was Marvel Alliance,
Marvel
where you had the
Alliance. Yes. Yes. Yes.
that was one of the best games ever, boy.
1 and 2. I played both
Hmm.
of them. Loved them. And this actually pisses me off. Did you know that they had a third one out? Did you know this? There's
Mm-hmm, hmm.
there's there's a third one
I
out,
have it.
but for the Switch, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, it's for you have it for the Switch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exclusively for the Switch, which pisses me off so much because I don't have a Switch and I don't want to buy a Switch because that's the only game I'd play on it. It's like, so I can't buy a Switch for one game, but I've thought about it. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but that's just how badly I want to play that fucking game. Like, oh my God, I was so mad when I found out about that. But Marvel Alliance, that game was dope.
And you had Mario Kart, Mario Party. I mean,
Oh
you had
yeah.
all those things.
Mario Kart was a fun one. Halo, we already talked about that. What's one more? Another good one that I used to play. I mean, honestly, Madden, fucking
Yeah.
back in the day, like fucking play Madden with someone. That was the shit. Like I did that all the time. Been one of my it's been like my in my top 3 games since I first started playing video games, Madden. Now it's obviously not because it's gone to shit and it sucks now, unfortunately. But
Oh, oh my God! One of my top couch games of all time that I don't even know why it slipped my mind. One of my first games ever as a human being. Lego Star Wars. All the Lego games.
Legos,
Oh my
yes.
God.
All the
I used
Lego
to play the
games.
bug out of that. Even when I was alone, I just plugged the second controller in and be like, wow, that's how other people feel like. I was a lonely
Yes.
boy at 5, okay? But man, man, there's so many.
um
I don't know why
Gears of War.
those
Ge-
genres died. Yeah,
Gears of
Gears.
War.
Whoa.
That's another
Oh.
serious couch game right there. Real
Oh, me and
fucking
my
I've
dad
played
played so much Gears of War.
hours and hours and hours of co-op on Gears of War. That was another great game to play. Split screen, the good old split screen.
Oh,
Uh
freaking Little Big Planet. I don't know if you ever played that.
See,
Little Big Planet was
I played it very
oof.
little. That wasn't quite my thing, but it was a very big game, fucking huge.
It
I had
was
friends that played it. Yeah.
at the time it was the game to play.
I don't even think I ever fully understood what that game was.
I
Like,
don't know either.
I don't think anyone actually knew what that game was. Because I had a friend that would play it a lot, and I would just sit there and I'd watch him. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? I was just like,
Yeah,
what's
me and my
like I was just like, what's the point? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing what you're doing? I just
me and my cousin Me and my cousin used to play it for like 3 days straight
yeah,
with no sleep or anything, just straight Coca Colas and
that's
playing
how
it.
my friend
And
was.
I always thought to myself, man, if I was ever on crack, this would be what the crack is.
Me playing Little Big Planet, hopped up on Coca Cola. Jesus. But oh, and I used to play. Oh wait, was this split screen? You could do Need for Speed, right? Need for Speed was a couch game that you could play, right?
Yeah,
That was
Need for
yeah,
Speed's a
split
couch
screen.
game.
I used to play the shit out of some old Need for Speed, like a Need for Speed
At the time, everything was
Hot
split screen.
Pursuit. Yeah, pretty much everything. But that was another big one that I played a lot. When I was in like middle school, I was like really into cars, and I had a bunch of friends that were into cars. So like we'd play like Hot Pursuit or Underground. That was another big one. Um, huh. Are there any other ones?
Hmm.
Oh,
I don't know. Basically,
some SSX.
oh God, yeah, God, Jesus, oh God,
Some
I can't even
SSX.
remember. I can't even remember playing that split screen. I know me,
Oh,
my
I
dad, and
played
cousin.
the shit out of it with
Who,
my cousin. We'd both be playing at the same time.
I think we always took turns because we were always just fascinated at what we would do next. Some triple
Yeah.
salchow backflip on your legs, snowboard trick. You're just like, wow, how do you do that?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
that's
know. I
that's
played that game split screen a lot with my cousin. Um, hmm.
oh at the time, because it wasn't a mode at the time, but Call of Duty Zombies
Yeah.
was at
Oh,
the time a
yep.
split screen because it didn't have multiplayer for it. It was a World
That
at
is
War.
true.
And
Yep. Call of
World
Duty.
at War, and you had to play. Oh, then Call of Duty Spec Ops. I
Yep.
used to play that split screen.
I used to play Call of
Oh
Duty
man.
like MW3 online split screen because I'd be at a friend's house and we both
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
play online. I'd play the shit of that and Black Ops 2. I'd play split screen at a friend's house all the time.
Yep. Those were good times.
Ooh,
But
goddamn.
I could transfer over to things that weren't good times. Let me transfer to a category that I'm not a fan of, but I have played a lot of, and it is the good old horror games. Now, see, something you may not know is I am a fellow light skin, which means I have a soft core. Things that scream too loud make me emotional, okay? So this category is very, very painful, and at the same time, some of the most greatest games ever played. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I wish I never played them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the horror category, the horror genre, the scary games. And I gotta say, I played a lot of them.
See, I
And
haven't played a whole lot. I mean, I've played a fair amount, but I haven't played a ton of these horror games. I know of them. I've
okay,
watched almost all of them, but I haven't myself played
okay,
them.
there was
I get
well,
too
it all started.
anxious. I get too anxious.
Yeah,
like I'll start the game and like I don't want to move from the spot I'm standing in right now.
and it's like too because the title screens are always like, ew. It's just like, oh, I don't want to play this. like Resident Evil, like when you first start, it goes Resident Evil. It's like, oh man, I don't
Oh
want to do
no.
this right now.
Ah, I'm not trying to shit myself right now.
I could be playing Skyrim. Why would I want to do this?
Play Skyrim. Oh my god.
But I have to say, it all started back with the original Xbox, watching my dad play this game. I can't remember the name. I forget it every time. Probably because I want to block it so bad out of my memory. That's unbelievable. But I think it was called Prison Break or Jailbreak or something with prison, something with jail.
Okay.
And it wasn't a scary game at first. You were in jail and these demons were taking over, and they're like kind of like some Silent Hill type stuff where these
Okay.
demons were like people at the
Oof.
same time.
Silent Hill. Jesus Christ.
And there's another one. And they had this one creature. I remember I remember the mission level and the layout perfectly. And this was like 20 years ago. And my my dad got out of jail and he went to the street, and the mission objective was go to the movie theaters. And when you go to the movie theaters, it introduces a new enemy naturally,
Right.
and this enemy jumps off the roof and lands right in front of you, and it's this naked like BDSM dude with like a gag in his mouth,
Oh Jesus
and
Christ.
his arms and legs are swords, and he lands like perfectly on the ground on the
Ooh.
swords, and you look at it and he just starts crawling all over the place on the tippy toes of the swords while he has like a gag in his mouth, and I'm just like, I I can't
What?
register.
What? What?
I can't register
What?
after playing Pokemon what am I watching? What am I watching right now? Like this isn't Squirtle or Bulbasaur. This is a dude with a gag in his mouth on swords, and I'm watching this man, and I look at my dad, and he has nothing but pure fear in his face. And I'm like, wow, I'm scared.
I am scared.
I am scared, and that game messed me up for life. And sure enough, I didn't learn my lesson because I gotta say the most iconic horror game that also messed me up, and I will play it again in a heartbeat, and that is Dead Space.
Yep. Dead
Dead
Space,
Space.
baby. That was my first
First,
experience with a horror game.
Dead Space is one of the greatest games
Yeah,
ever.
ever. Yep, agreed. All
Just
three of
everything
them.
about it.
All
Yeah,
three of them are amazing.
everything about it. The mechanics, the music, the environment, just how heavy you felt moving. It's like every
Yes.
step you took was just heavy.
Yeah.
And then they didn't add, but they had it in the first game. The greatest feature I've ever had in any video game, and it is spamming the stomp button. And you know what? You know when a dude jumps up and he has, just like I said before, some tentacle swords coming down like that, and you gotta shoot each limb off, or you gotta shoot the legs off. My favorite thing, Kane, playing that game is shooting their legs off
and
and
just
spamming the stop button over and over again, just releasing all my fear and frustration into that body right there. Because they'll jump scare you like crazy. So if you
yeah.
can get them on the floor and
Yep.
stomp them to death, oof,
It feels good.
oof.
But that game was scary. That was a scary ass game. And one
I was
thing
like,
I'll never forget is there's at the very beginning of Dead Space 3, there's a section as you're going through the map, and like written in blood on one of the walls, it says, "No God, no fear." And
oh,
it's
yeah.
and then it's underneath it, it says, "No God, no fear," but it's spelled like KNOW, no God, no fear, NO fear, and then underneath it, it says, "No God, NO God, no," and KNOW, like no fear. And I was just like, oh, I was just like, oh my God, what am I playing right now? What am I
Wait a
playing right
second.
now? Why
Wait
am
a
I playing?
second.
Like, am I about to open up a demonic portal out of my fucking Xbox right now? Like, what the
Am
heck?
I nauseous? Like, am I nauseous?
Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Is Satan about to
Am
jump out
I
of my screen? Like,
am I gay?
like I was seeing that and I was like, I don't know, 12 or 11 when I was playing Dead Space 3. I see that smeared in blood at the very beginning of the game on one of the walls. I was just like, oh no.
another another good one, another very underrated one at the time. I only watched my dad play it. I never played it, and it was Fear, and it was like this.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like this Doom style type game,
I've played that. I've
and
played Fear.
yeah, and you had like this demonic grudge looking girl,
Yep.
like popping up every now and then, and that was a pretty scary game. That
That
was
was a
that was
sick.
good. It wasn't
That was
like as horror, but it
yeah,
was good.
it was a sick game. I liked that one. Wasn't too
And then
scary for sure.
Alien Isolation,
That
good
was gonna
ass
be
game.
Yep, that was gonna be the next one that I was gonna say. Alien
Yeah,
Isolation is really good.
but
It's more so a jump scare horror game.
yeah,
I mean, it definitely has
the,
its scary, like horror, scary type moments, but it's mainly a jump scare type thing. But still, amazing game. That's a very, very good game.
and then I'll mention two more. One, obviously the kingpin of horror games. No one's ever going to beat it. But Resident Evil, obviously they take the market away. They every time they come out with something, it's a banger. Except for Resident Evil 6, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
But
I loved Raccoon
I mean, they're
City. I think Raccoon City was my favorite. That
Raccoon
was my
City
favorite.
was dope. And it
That
was such
shit was
I
dope.
love Raccoon City. And man, Resident Evil 4. I played the crap out of Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 5. My God. So
Yeah.
Resident Evil's just kingpins of the whole genre. So
Yeah.
it's not even close. But the one thing that tops all horror games for me, I already know people watching this know what I'm about to say.
Oh yeah.
But
Yep. That game was
if you don't,
twisted as fuck.
so there's two games. Outlast 1, which was horrifying, but at the same time, it was playable. Like I did enjoy Outlast 1. It wasn't long. It wasn't like a full price game.
Yeah, it
It
was a
only took
cheap
like
game.
it only took like 4 hours to beat.
Yeah. If you could
And
get through
if you
it.
already knew,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you
if
could
you already
get
knew like where certain things were, then you're pretty much set. And but they couldn't leave it at that. They had to come out with a second game. And I never seen such a jump in a first game to the second game in my life. I was not expecting it at all
this was a
in my life.
triple A, like full scale like game too.
Yeah, this was a full jump. And at the time I had a YouTube channel and I was in high school too. So I had outside influence at times. And I played Outlast 2. And let's just say I wouldn't have played it if I didn't have the YouTube channel. Uh it was the most horrifying experience in my whole existence. Movies, comics, anything. Outlast 2 was the most horrific experience I've ever went through in my life. But people enjoyed it. And every day I went every day I went to high school, they would just go, so when you uploading the next video? And it's just like, dude, I don't want to. That's the thing. I don't want to. And everybody thought it was hilarious. Oh, you jumped so high on that one. You're screaming so loud on this part. You know why? You know why a dude screams to the top of his lungs? Because he's horrified at what's about to happen to him. Like, I don't think people understand. The first part of the mission is you crash land, look at all these mutated bodies, and then go to these cornfields with people just staring at you. And then all the hiding spots that you had in the first game, they can go in them
Yep.
now. And I was like, so they had like one of the most popular ones was going under places and
Yeah.
they couldn't get you. That was the thing in the first one. But no, little did I know I would go under things and they'll be like, oh yeah, I could do that too. And it's like
What?
but
What?
the first sequence, Kane, is you're in a cornfield. These people are staring at you. You get chased naturally, but then you run away, and then you run into the one of the final bosses right there, and she's just this giant demonic reaper looking chick, and it's just like and then you get past that, you get to this mansion, and I'm pretty sure you hear your wife or your girlfriend being brutally raped, and then you go through these fields and these like you fall in this tunnel. I remember you go in this cave or you fall in this tunnel, and there's this mutilated baby
Yeah,
in
it's
his
like a
carriage.
fetus. Yeah, it's like a little.
Yeah, it's like a fetus, and it was just
Ugh.
like, huh. And then it just kept going. It just kept going. There's
And
no
wasn't it
stop.
crying?
There's
Wasn't the fetus like
yeah,
crying?
yeah,
Like yeah, it was like.
yeah. There
Uh...
was there was no stop, and that's just I don't know if people know this, but there's a breaking point
yeah,
of when you can have a point to breathe for a second.
yeah.
Like
It's
Resident Evil,
exhausting. It's exhausting.
Resident Evil,
Yeah.
there's a safe room. There's a safe room, Resident Evil. Alien Isolation, there's a safe room. There's
Yep.
things you would give you safe. Outlast 2, no, you just have to keep going. And it's just
Just
like,
run for your life 24/7.
and there's nothing to save you. There's just nothing. It's just like, oh my god. That was by far one of the worst experiences. I couldn't sleep. Every time I recorded a video, I could not sleep. I would just think about what I just watched and witnessed, and then I go to school the next day, and everybody like, "Oh, that's a great video, D," and I just be like,
Just
"I'm happy you
crying.
enjoy."
Wasn't
It
there
was
like a church level where you had to go into a church, like a really old church?
oh, my most popular episode I remember was I made a KKK joke, and I remember it perfectly. And you went into the school
Yeah.
and you saw all these people hanging, and I was like, "Oh Jesus!" And this like tsunami of blood comes and it completely like washes you away. So I was like, "Okay, no big deal." And you go out to the outside world, and it wasn't a church; it was like a water mill,
Oh,
like a
okay.
two-story water mill
Okay.
with a wooden bridge, and the whole sky, your whole screen was red.
Yeah.
Just everything was red,
Everything was red. Yeah.
and these little like demonic like children chased you the whole time, and there was like 20 of them that just chased you constantly. And I remember just running for the fear of Odin all the time. I'll go under things, the kids are there, I'm like, okay. And wow, well, so there's a number one. Dead Space, by far one of my favorite games. Resident
Yes.
Evil, the king of horror games. But Outlast 2, that
It's
did
another
something to
level.
my solar system. Yeah,
It's another
that was
level.
unnecessary.
um all right. We're at about an hour 47 right now. Do you have any other categories you wanted to touch on real quick or
Uh, no, that's about it. I'll do mention one more that could have
yeah.
been one of the best horror games of all time. PT,
Oh,
that
Silent
came out for
Hill. Yeah, we
Sony.
gotta we gotta shout
Yeah,
out Silent Hill, but especially PT Silent Hill.
PT had one moment that just took the game away.
Fucks you
That
up.
had the crying fetus in the sink,
Yep. Yes, it did.
and it
Dude,
also
playing that
had
game made you feel
the
like you were actually going insane.
oh
Like
yeah,
you were
I never forget.
actually going insane.
I'll never forget turning that corner in the hallway and seeing that like 8 foot chick just standing there in the light, and I'm just like,
Yep.
hmm, all right.
After you've gone through that hallway and opened that door like 50 million times in a row because like so at this point you're literally like running. Like you're like I like come on. Like this has to pass eventually and then finally like you've completely forgotten what game you're playing at this point and then all of a sudden you see this fucking 8 foot tall chick, and you're like oh dude it jumped dude I can't tell you how high I jumped out of my fucking bed when because I was sprinting. I was just like, come on, come on. How many times is it gonna make me do this? Like haha, like going through this hallway. And then I saw that. Dude, I jumped so far. I threw my controller. I dropped my controller. I was like, oh shit. Like, dude, I was I lost it.
That's fun, man. That had potential. That had potential to do a lot of things with that game.
Yeah,
But
no, for sure.
I gotta say that's if you guys made it this far, I appreciate you. It's I know it's been a good minute since we did a podcast, but here we are now.
Yes, sir.
If you enjoyed, let us know. I do appreciate the love on the last video, even though there was like only like 2 people. I mean, y'all could do better than that, but hey, it is what it is. But I appreciate the love. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. And go ahead, take it off, Kane. Do your famous outros.
All right, baby. So, like D said, I want to say thank you to everyone that watches this. Please hit that like button real quick. Maybe even, maybe even hit the subscribe button. Maybe, it is free. It helps us out. You can find a
I
link
do
in.
like subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. Subscribe is nice. I personally subscribe to all my favorite channels. So that's all. But anyways, you can find a link in the description to take you to our website, which we have our own podcast website. So if you'd like to listen to us on the go, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on pretty much everything. If you got any questions, please leave a comment, or even if it's not a question, you just want to say something, share some love with us, leave a comment down below, or you can, if you have a question, please email us at thesenate.talktous@gmail.com. Again, thesenate.talktous@gmail.com. We will respond. And uh and that's it. GG boys.
GG.